Hello and welcome to the OutPower Newscast. On today's newscast, we give a peek to the updates in the OutSystems courses and documentation. In Hints and How-Tos, we check out the guide that explains how to send an email in a traditional web application. And as it is usual, we go over the latest from the OutSystems community and much more. As usual, OutSystems is always trying to improve the current available content that will help you improve our skills. And with that in mind, OutSystems released a few new online training courses. These are two courses that are mobile specific and one that is for web and mobile. These are Mobile Design Considerations, Native App Generation, and SQL Queries. Give them a check, and as always, if you have any feedback, let the OutSystems team know. For more information on this, you can reach the forum post at this link. OutSystems ended the mainstream support for the platform version 10 on May 31st of this year. This also impacts the certifications for the OutSystems platform version 10, meaning that all the certification exams for the platform version 10 will be discontinued on the 1st of June. Some of the certifications will be automatically updated for the platform version 11, but with the Associate Web Developer, you will only be able to update via Delta's certification exam that will only be available until the end of the year. If you have any questions, you can reach OutSystems by using the following email. For more information on this, you can reach the forum post at this page. This week, we can count with more updates in the OutSystems documentation and training. An update to the AI chatbot full set of documentation was made available to us. So the entire documentation on how to create AI-powered chatbots will have the following content. There are also new training modules on becoming a mobile developer guided path. These include the following. And there is also updates to the documentation of the architecture dashboard, which include the How to Use the Architecture Dashboard article recreated, and it includes 3 new tutorials that will guide the user on the first usage of the architecture dashboard. Revamp the architecture dashboard frequently asked questions. Also, information about the architecture dashboard features and OutSystems editions. And about changing the language of the architecture dashboard was also added. And last but not least, the troubleshooting information was moved to a new topic. If you wish to find more information about these updates, or just provide your feedback about this, you can start by going over to this forum post. Now going over to Hints and How-Tos. This week on Hints and How-Tos, we check out the guide that takes us back to the basics of sending an email and constructing that email using information from the database in a traditional web application. The guide shares an OML with the example code that shows us how we can retrieve the data to use it on the email to send. This is an example that will help you to get started. So if this has woken your curiosity, you can reach this guide by navigating to this page. After the Hints and How-Tos segment, let's see what's new on the Forge. Now on the Forge, after doing the usual scan on the deployments by the community, this is our selection for the top picks. Now on to the last segment of the day, the idea of the week. On this week's segment, one of the ideas that captured the attention of our fellow community members was the concept by João Melo, where he proposes an accelerator that would generate the control elements for batch processing, leaving a placeholder for us to add the functional logic to it. The idea is, when designing a batch processing, the scaffolding would put in place the common patterns that we would need, such as a control table to handle the status, exception handling, retries, some logic to distribute the records into threads, and so forth. If you want to reach out to this idea, you can do it by going to the following page. Another idea that sparked some interest was the idea by Diana Miel, where she proposes that it would be useful to have the execution time when we hit test on a query in Service Studio. If you would like to give your support or share your feedback, you can reach the concept at this ideas page. With that last segment, we wrap up today's newscast. Hope you have enjoyed it, and please join us next time for more OutSystems news by OutPower. Have a nice day.